All right, hey everybody. I am recording another video, and today I'm going to be talking about whether or not online dating is a good idea for single mothers. So for those of you who are single moms and are looking to get back in the dating world, I definitely would recommend creating an online dating profile. Online dating is a good option for single moms because it offers the flexibility and the convenience that is very beneficial to women in our position. I'll clarify. So I know for me, luckily now that I live back in my hometown, I kind of have a go-to babysitter. But before, when I lived in a city and I didn't have someone that could just watch my son, I had to really plan and prepare for even just one single date. Like the first date, the first time meeting up with somebody, I had to make sure our schedules were, in line as far as my schedule, my son's schedule, the guy's schedule. I had to pay a babysitter. I had to, and my son was a little bit younger, so I also had to prep him. Okay, mommy's going somewhere without you. I'll be back. Don't worry, boo. It was a lot that went into just going on a single date. And wouldn't you like to know that the person you're going on the date with, is kind of worth all that effort? Although it's not guaranteed with online dating, you are kind of a step ahead of the game because, as I'm sure most of you know, or maybe you don't, but you have the option to have filters on your online dating, and you can kind of weed people out. So you can immediately weed out the super, creepy, psycho, or just people who are just not your cup of tea. They're not anybody that you would, you guys don't have the same interests or same beliefs or whatnot. You can figure that out online before you have to go and make all that effort to meet in person. I love the online filters because, you can pretty much filter for anything. You can do, how physical appearance, how tall they are, what race they are. You can do things like what religion are they? Do they smoke? Do they drink? Do they have kids? Do they even want kids? Do they have a job? Do they have a car? You can kind of filter that out. And of course, yes, people can lie. They can fib, they can, exaggerate things. But at least, especially for those things, I don't know if a lot of people lie about what religion they are. People do lie about height. I'm not going to lie. I've met some people who were definitely shorter than what they thought. But that's something that, you have to decide, okay, is that height requirement really that important? Anyways, I digress, sorry. So it's a good way to just kind of filter out and weed out the people that, there's not a shot in the world that that match would work. So another reason online dating is a good option is if you're anything like me, I go to work, I go to school, and then my son and we're out a lot. Me and my son do so much on the weekends because we just don't like to be in the house. But we're always, at family friendly events, and there's always other families there. I'm usually the only single mom at things I take my son to. I'm there's not even other single moms. I have never come across a single dad at something I've taken my son to. So I don't know what single dads do with their kids, but obviously not what I'm doing with mine. So I just, I don't have the opportunity in my everyday life to just meet men. Now, I'm still hopeful, and I love the thought of, going grocery shopping and locking eyes with some, tall, dark, and handsome yumminess in the grocery aisle. But it hasn't happened yet, and I don't know if it's going to. So, with my very limited access to single men, online dating it's been a great option for me. I'm definitely going to include another video on some of the craziest stories that I've had to deal with. But for the most part, it's been a pleasant experience. And even from people that I've talked to that have done online dating, it's cool. You got to be smart about it. You definitely got to be smart about it. You have to, yeah, there's definitely some tips that I will be sharing, I think, to get the most out of the experience. But I think, you know, if you're a single mom who, you know, is ready to get back out there, online dating is something that you should consider. You should definitely consider it. So that's just my 2 cents on it, though. You know, definitely there's tons of, you know, other videos on YouTube. There's tons of blogs about different people's experiences and whatnot. But I will definitely be speaking more on this topic because it's something that I'm living out in my life right now. Like right now, I do have an online dating profile. Actually, just this past weekend, I went and met up with coffee with a very nice gentleman. But yeah, it's a learning experience, and I definitely am excited and looking forward to sharing my experience with you all. So yeah, go ahead and, you know, on the comments, post your experiences, post your tips, and we'll keep this conversation going. Okay. All right, well, till next time.